You will have seen work taking place at different locations. And one might ask the question, why is all of this going on the way it is? And what's the end game? The fact of the matter is, for the Georgetown revitalization plan to really be able to take effect and for private sector to be encouraged to buy into this program, because it's going to take private sector more than government when it comes to physical structures. But the government will be responsible for the infrastructure work to make this happen. So in order to make them, that is private sector, not only be willing but be encouraged to invest, the government has to create the right atmosphere and the ambience for that to happen. Interconnectivity is of vital importance. And when we look in the central Georgetown area, the first thing that we realized that we had to be able to do was to be able to get traffic in and out of Georgetown without gridlock.
Our approach lately from the NRA is really to give the government and the ministry a comprehensive corporate plan that shows how roads should be undertaken, when should it be upgraded. We've just gotten that a corporate plan approved, so that we're kind of following that plan, and that's the reason we have these sort of simultaneous projects going on. We know that obviously traffic should be very careful about the amount of roadworks we have, so we're trying our best to be as proactive as in our customer service approach, and also with informing the public about when we're doing projects, what speeds we reduce to, and the things like that, because that's very careful, very important. Especially when you have a lot of heavy equipment being used, we can have some serious problems on the road. But comprehensively, these projects could have been done earlier, but the fact is that we're having them done all at one time. It's just a testament to the good planning that we have and the fact that we have a minister who's supporting us.
There is a lot of synergy between the board and the NRA itself and the ministry. And in so doing, as they have developed the vision of the road works, once we told them what we wanted to accomplish, they then physically go out, look at all of the stats that they need with traffic flow and all of that to see where we have to go. Understanding clearly that part of the end game is to try to get to the point where some of the roads in central Georgetown and especially on the waterfront can be pedestrianized to accommodate cruise ship passengers and the like in a safe manner. But being able to do that and still have free flow of traffic is where it's a little bit tricky and where we depend on their expertise. And I have every confidence that they'll be coming through.
The plan, which is a good plan in terms of attacking all the projects one time, we're just going to start up here by the Prospect Roundabout, which is in the Shamrock area. This is the old Joey's car wash. And this is the actual work we're doing now. You can see the center island has actually been reduced. And the reason we're actually doing the reduction is twofold.
This project got underway because we wanted to address the high incidence of people slipping, sliding, and ended up going into the outside curb and sidewalk, and some people going over it. The solution that we're implementing is to adjust the slope of the roadway surface. We'll now have it sloping inward, whereas before it tended to slope more outward. And that, we think, will substantially improve the stability of people driving around the roundabout. However, as you will notice, we look like we're adding another lane. And in fact, we are. It's only a matter of time before both of this section of the road, east and west of this roundabout, will need to be widened to 6 lanes. Just as we talked recently about providing 6 lanes on Linford Pearson, the potential is here to easily achieve the 6 lanes. When we put in the curb on the other side, east of here, we'll bring it in 6 feet. With the existing shoulders that we have, we can get 6 lanes in. So eventually, the roundabout is going to need to have 3 lanes. If we were going to alter the slope of the existing 2, we felt it was only prudent to put in that 3rd lane now. We won't allow people to use it. We'll segregate traffic coming into it, or keep traffic coming in with basic low impact traffic barriers. But the lane will be there for when we need it, rather than us having to come back out on what's a highly traffic road and inconvenience people again 4, 6, 8 years maybe at the most in the future when we need to widen this out.
This is the Linford-Pearson Highway starting at the Silver Oaks intersection. So again, the provision the ministry and the government has given us in terms of their support is to allow us to actually widen this highway to 100 feet, which gives us the capability of 3 lanes in the future. So just like the previous project we mentioned, we're going to stripe it from now for 2 lanes in either direction, east and west, but we'll have the capability of having a 3rd lane when we need it. And our normal modeling that we've done over the years in traffic counts tells us that that's going to be in the vicinity of 2022 to 2023.
The road is being widened out, so the current lanes, the lane configuration is 2 lanes of road, and eventually it'll be 4 lanes. So basically the 2 lanes that we're driving on now will end up being the eastbound carriageway for traffic heading out of town, and we're going to construct 2 more lanes in the clear area that we see now. So we're widening it out. We have to raise it up a bit to get it up to the level of the rest of the road, and then pave it and so on to get it to be a functional road. So what you're seeing now is the start of that way. We clear the sub base, the foundation basically of the road, and then we fill it with clean fresh material, bring it up to the existing level and pave it.
At this site, this is the first part of the Esther Tibbetts Highway going south from the ACR roundabout behind me. The section before this is the section that DART and the DECO group is doing on behalf of the government. This is the second part of that job that the government is actually responsible for paying for, but we're using the same contractor. This section is currently a 2-lane divided highway. We're going to make it into a 4-lane arterial. This will give us the widening, it will give us the ability to have 6 lanes, the capacity overall, 3 lanes either side of the median. But for the time being, we're going to be striping as 2 lanes either side of the median. So ultimately, we'll have a 4-lane highway in the short term, and in the long term, we'll have the capability of having a 6-lane highway. The reason we're trying to be proactive in our planning is the traffic volumes are increasingly growing much higher. So we have to tie this whole section in from the Butterfield roundabout to the Badabanu area. So the plan is to, in the future, have a ability to have 3 lanes in each direction. Now we're just coming from the other section of the Linford-Pearson, and this whole job is a holistic approach to the network in Cayman. So ultimately, we'll have 3 lanes with a divided highway from Badabanu in West Bay to the top of the Linford-Pearson Highway.
You will also have seen some work done on Smith Road, and you will see Humber Lane just over on the other side of the government administration building, connecting Smith Road nowadays. The work on Smith Road was to widen certain areas and create a turning lane on Smith Road, because that gets busier as each day goes by with all of the medical facilities that are there, doctors' offices, and it keeps growing. Other buildings are going up there. So we're trying to get ahead of the game rather than to be behind the 8 ball all the time. We've also done similar works at Godfrey Nixon Way for the same reason, and a turning lane has been created there. So there's more to do. We're also looking to connect Elgin Avenue with Eastern Avenue by way of Shedden Road, and we're going from Huldah Avenue over by where the mango tree is, connecting that directly.
We have a very good transportation engineers at the NARA who can obviously calculate the time savings and the time lost because of traffic congestion. Our ultimate goal is to build a network so that you as our customers have a very efficient travel time, but not only that, the fact is that we have to design the roads in such a way that they provide a level of safety for all of our customers. But the biggest aspect and the biggest bang for the buck would be the time savings. People can get to work from A to B in 5 minutes versus half an hour in traffic. And the more we expand the network with the better quality, the better services will be given to the public, who's all our customers.
When you ask the question, why now? The fact of the matter is, I believe it should have been before. But of course, it takes resources, financial resources especially, and we can only deal with what we can deal with as we are able to afford it. Thankfully, the economy over the past few years has started to show more signs of people having confidence and investor confidence going up, and the economy is growing. We certainly don't want it to overheat, but it's growing at a steady pace, which allows us to be able to plan and to execute those plans in a timely fashion. And I think what we're doing now is certainly within the range of what we're capable of doing without borrowing. So we're proceeding on as best we can.
You know, we have to be ultra cautious in terms of not putting traffic at risk, and road users need to be ultra careful and not expect to simply cruise down the road, putting on their makeup and doing other things, talking to the children in the back seat, or having a conversation with a friend, and not paying attention on this road while we're trying to work on it. So it's a shared responsibility.
As Minister, I certainly have a great desire to accomplish as much as I can within reason and without creating too much consternation with everybody who works under the ministry. But I want to say that I am extremely grateful to have the team that I have working with me, and I certainly am very pleased with the way that they're handling things, and I believe that we'll be able, at the end of the term, to be in a position to say that there has been much accomplished while there is much more to do. And I guess after the elections next year, we'll see what happens, but there certainly will be a forward motion and much continuity to look forward to.